So I wrote this thing up on the devil and God and kind of how it works together. And I thought I would share. Hopefully, it'll help some people just clarify and understand exactly what is going on with that. So first of all, I know we have an awesome and powerful God, and He protects us, and He's very kind and He's merciful. Now, this is God. He created the world. He could have been any way. He could have been a tyrant, like a lot of people have been in this world who have even slightly a little power. They take that and they run with it. And could have had a God like that who just makes us do a lot of bad things, but we didn't. Instead, we were blessed with an awesome God who's just merciful, who loves us more than we'll ever understand, and he just loves us, and that's awesome. But he also, I wanted to tell you a little bit about an angel he created. He created an angel who is this powerful angel who has logic, gave him power, and he was I think I read somewhere that he was this good looking angel, but he gave him all this power, and instead of using it for good, Lucifer decided to turn on God, and he thought he was going to become more powerful than God. So God cast him down to earth, and we know him as Satan. So Satan's roaming around the world, and in the Bible, there's a scene in Job where God asks him, "What were you doing?" And he's just like roaming around the world. So that's what he does. He roams around the world, and he really hates humans. He doesn't like it that God's really good to us. So his mission in life is to try to get us to fall and go to hell. In other words, not accept God, busy our lives up with all this, busyness in our lives, and make it so that we don't accept God, so that we end up going to hell, and then when we go to hell, He's going to torture us. And that's basically what He does here on earth. He's a tyrant. He can't wait to torture you in hell, and until then, He is going to try to lure you in with certain things in life. And I think that's the worst part of him. If somebody comes up to you and says, "I'm this really bad person," you're not going to follow him. But if they come up to you and they try to lure you in with things that make you happy in this world that are against God, where you're like, "Oh, I'm happy, I like it, I do this," then it's kind of bad, because you're going to think you're really following your own pursuits, but in reality the devil's tricking you so that you go to hell. And here's what I mean by that is, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard sex, money, pride, and fame are all the devil, and you should stay away from that. And it doesn't really apply to your mind, because people don't explain it. They just say that, and they're expecting you to know what that is. So I was hoping to break it down, give you a little bit better explanation of what that means exactly. Sex, sex is good. Actually, married people have sex all the time. I'm married. I've been married to my wife for over 10 years, and yeah, I like sex. I like having sex with my wife. But the sex they're talking about is sex outside of marriage. Premarital sex, sinful sex with, the same sex, the same gender. So it's stuff like that that is a sinful way of sex. For example, you see somebody walking down the street and you have this lustful thought about them, whether it's male or female, and God says that that's against the Bible. We shouldn't do that. Money, it isn't, devil's not going to show up with a sack of money and say, "Here's some money, come follow me." If you saw the devil, first of all, you'd be like, "Oh snap, the devil's real, I better get good with God." So he's not going to show up with a sack of money. He's not foolish. He's really smart. He thinks about things. So he's going to show up in a different way. For example, in your career, he's going to show up and say, "Guess what? I have, this career for you, and you should stay late at work because you want to advance, and if you get more money, you're going to go on more vacations, you're going to buy that boat, that car you always wanted, so then you work more, and then you leave your family at home." And that hurts you because your family is not there, and your family needs a leader in the home. And that's why you should always focus on your family over your career. But that's one way they can trick you. Another way is, we've all seen it in movies and music videos. Money can buy you all these things that are supposedly happiness, and you're going to try to get the money in whatever way you can so that you can go out and spend your money the way you want to, right? Lustful ways, sex, and all this stuff. And that's why we got to be careful with money. It isn't just money, it's, you know, the things we get with money that the devil will try to influence us with, that are bad. Fame is another way. Some people just want fame at whatever cost. They're willing to do whatever they can. And these are the things, the earthly treasures that the Bible warns against, and that seem like a good idea, but once you get them, you can, you know, there's been plenty of movie stars that you ask them, like, now that you have fame, now that you have money, are you happy? And it's like, no, and we see it all the time on TV. That doesn't make you happy. It just gives you more problems if you don't have God. So you shouldn't seek those things at the cost of your soul. And there's a Bible verse that talks about that. What good does it do you to gain the world, which is, you know, all these things of earthly treasures, if you're just going to lose your soul, if you're going to end up just going to hell? What's 70 years of the best years of your life compared to eternity in heaven, where you're just going to be amazingly happy? It's nothing. It's not even a dot compared to eternity. So gaining your salvation is far greater than anything you'll ever pursue and gain in this world. So you got to be careful with that. And you got to be careful with the devil, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'll take on the devil, you know, the devil is nothing. And it's like, no, the devil is a powerful being. God made him that way. And we ourselves, if you ask me if I can take on the devil, no, I can't. But with God, I can. God gives us the strength, the ability to take on things of the devil, like pride, like sex, like envy, like just all these lustful things that are of the devil and of this world. He's going to give us the strength to overcome it. But we can't do it alone. We can't take him on by ourselves. He's a powerful being. We need God, and with God we can do anything. He overcame the devil when he was here on earth, and he can help us overcome whatever we're going through, whatever struggles, you know, whatever addictions, whatever we're facing, whatever problem. God can help us through it if we just accept him into our heart. So what I suggest, if you see the Satan in one of these forms that I explained, is you run. You know, if you're by yourself. If you're with God, you know, you can overcome these things, but you still got to run from those things that make you sin, right? You got to run from lust. You can't just say, well, God's with me, I'm going to go to this, you know, party, and I won't do really bad things. It's like, no, stay away from those things, and God will give you the strength to stay away from those things, and he'll help you just have a better life. A lot of people who don't have God say, well, I'm in control. I control my life. No, you don't. You don't control what the devil makes you do. If anything, try it. See if you don't know God, see if you can turn away from money, lust, all these really bad earthly things. And it's like, no, you're addicted to them because the devil made you that way. He influenced you into just believing these things, and unless you turn from them, you're gonna go to hell. Turning away from those things, though, is very difficult, especially if you've been doing them for a long time. Difficult, but not impossible with God. So you got to seek God, and you got to ask him into your heart, and ask that he helps take control of your life, because with him you can overcome those lustful and really bad things. Because you do these things and it's temporary pleasure and it's amazing, and then it's over. It doesn't usually last that long, and then, you know, when it's over, you try to seek it again, and then it's never a long-term fulfillment. Only God can give you that. Only God can fill that void. So what I suggest is just, I have this post, watch it. It's on Romans 10, 9 through 10, which just talks about the two things that you need in life to accept God into your heart and to be saved and go to heaven. Which is you proclaim with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and accept him into your heart, and you repent from your sins, and you believe that God raised Jesus from the dead when he was here. And it's just, you know, simple, it's easy, and all you have to do is accept, but it's really difficult for some. So if you wanted to get more specific details on that, watch that video, Romans 10, 9 through 10, and it talks about, you know, if you're going to heaven or hell, and how to get to heaven if you really want to get there. Besides that, I hope everybody has an awesome day. I hope I warned you about what to stay away from, and how the devil just, you know, he's not going to show you himself. He's going to do it in these other ways, and you got to stay away from those things. And if you seek God, truly seek him, reading the Bible, praying, you'll see that God will turn you away from those things, and he'll have you live a much richer and fuller life. Until next time, I'll see you guys.